Hello, it's the Midwestern Movie Reviewer here with another movie review. I just saw Furiosa, a Mad Max story. This movie was so good, guys. I had been looking forward to this movie since the preview came out, 6 months or 8 months ago? I'm gonna be honest, seeing Chris Hemsworth with that nose, that fake nose, I was like, is that gonna be terrible? It wasn't. It was great. There were so many things I loved about this movie. Let's talk a little bit about what this is about. Mad Max Furiosa is a prequel to Mad Max Fury Road, where you saw Charlize Theron as this character, Furiosa. So you get to see how did she get involved in that world. Starts out with her as a child and goes until, she's an adult, but she's a young adult, and she's played by Anya-Taylor Joy as an adult.
This is our destiny.
My childhood. My mother. I want them back. I want them back.
So, first of all, this movie was directed by George Miller. And I was like, how do I know George Miller? And then I got him confused with Frank Miller. He's not Frank Miller. But what's weird is this guy has directed a lot of and written a lot of Mad Max movies and then Happy Feet. So it's very, very different genres and types with those movies. But with this, he sticks to that post-apocalyptic gritty thing that he had with, what's that actor's name? Mel Gibson. With Mel Gibson. When I was a kid, I loved seeing Mel Gibson as Mad Max and just getting into that gritty, a post-apocalyptic world. And he brings it here, but even better. It was so epic. And in the vein of that, I want to say this movie needs to be seen on a big screen. I saw it and I was so thrilled. The scenes were epic. There was so much color, and then you could just feel and really just get into this world. It was amazing. I would say if you can see it on IMAX, that would be even better. You'd have the awesome sound, visual, everything. If you love Mad Max or you are looking forward to this, whatever your experience is with the Mad Max series, leave me some comments below. I love to have a conversation continue after these videos and see what you guys are into. Hopefully you love Mad Max, and if so, you're going to love this movie. It stars, of course, as I said, Anya-Taylor Joy as Furiosa, and then Chris Hemsworth as a evil character. I think his name is Demento, something like that. When I saw Chris Hemsworth with the nose, the prosthetic nose, at first I was like, this is weird. But then it helps you get into his character and not see him as Thor. You're used to seeing him with long hair and you think of him as Thor. But with his prosthetic nose, you really start to believe him as this Demento character who was sadistic and awful. And it made you more want to see his demise or you just hate him. You're like, oh, he's truly a villain. So the prosthetic nose worked. It was a good idea for them to do that. And then it's got a lot of other actors that aren't real well known. Some of the other actors I was not real familiar with, so I'm going to read those off. There was Xanthia Marinelli. There was Charlie Fraser. The little Furiosa was played by Alila Brown. She was fantastic. She was in a great part of the movie. Probably a good third or half of the movie was her as playing young Furiosa. Then there's also Quaden Bales, Tom Bunker, and Nathan Jones. So this movie completely overshot my expectations. The cinematography should win an Oscar because it was amazing. There were so many scenes that I was just sitting there with my jaw hanging open, like just in awe and thrilled. I love a movie. This movie's 2 hours and 28 minutes. And I love a movie that you are so in love with the world that you're in that you don't care how long it is. You just want to stay there and take it all in and just enjoy a great story, and that's what you get here. It's so good. One thing I love about Mad Max movies is that world. The characters are so different. They're almost like a mixture of like a steampunk and the creatures from Lord of the Rings or something. You know how when you see those orcs and they're wearing, all the prosthetics and all the makeup and effects, you really get into that world. And the same thing I find with Mad Max movies. The effects, the costumes, like in this one, you see a lot of men with, they're all bald, they're shirtless, and then they have a lot of white paint on and stitching on their lips. And just to see, so many actors in that, I won't call it a costume, I guess, I don't know, dressed like that character makes you get into that world. And so I love that about this. So there was nothing that I did not like about this movie. It was fantastic. So Midwestern Movie Reviewer says, please like and subscribe. And also, please go see Furiosa, a Mad Max story in theaters now. Midwestern Movie Reviewer out.